Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
When do you want to rock?
I want to rock right now.
Attaboy. It's the 10-minute drill. Coming up at the end, you're going to have your chance to be a big hero. We're going to give you a Kiss Farewell. It's the Kiss Farewell Tour at the arena coming up on April 12th.
Movie?
That's Not at the Roxbury.
Thank you.
Thank you. What is love, Dan?
Did you really think he was going to miss
Maybe
that
don't
one?
hurt me.
I was just doing that on Facebook for the Facebook fans.
Yeah.
We're rocking on Facebook right now, by the way.
Facebook Live, is that what it is? That's
Give it to me again, Beef.
We want to rock right now. You should actually give him the song that applies to you. Know that's not the song they do that with,
I know
right?
it is.
Okay, all right. I
aware.
wasn't sure you knew. All right, I'll start the 10-minute drill because I say so.
Okay.
In making a sense of this Landry Jones signing,
yeah,
I'll ask it to you this way. I understand that this is probably a discovery process as much as anything else, but do you think this is a situation and a signing where Landry Jones is on this team next August, or
no?
Is this just a roster filler?
Roster filler.
That's it.
Bortles a little banged up, a little careful. You know, I mean,
Jones doesn't intrigue you at all?
No, not
He's
really.
got better stats than any quarterback on our team.
Yeah, he's 29 years old.
Yeah.
He's 3-2 as a starter. He's a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to him.
No, I hear you.
I mean,
he's
Landry Jones this is the one thing about Landry Jones that has always not intrigued me, but I remember about Landry Jones. On this program, we've had many discussions, many asinine discussions through the years. And one time we got into this, and this wasn't asinine, but we got into this analytics thing, and there's some
Lewin career forecast.
Very
He's one of
nice.
the highest ever.
Yeah, very nice. Lewin career, that you'd even remember that. Lewin career forecast. I was going to go, there's some study that projected these guys as being, quote, franchise quarterbacks.
And they had been right
and
more
they had
than
been
wrong.
dead on with a lot of them. And Landry Jones was a highly ranked one, and it didn't work. So that was the end.
He actually fell out of the
career.
parameters because in that Lewin career forecast, you
Yes.
have to be in the first 3 rounds. He went in the 4th round. The one thing that I will say, when you have to play your whole career behind a franchise guy, you're never going to get into the game. There's no way to know for sure. So it's a lot different situation here. The quarterback room here, if competing for playing time, it's going to be a little different than the one up in Pittsburgh. That's the only thing that I would say. But
shout out to Sam Marco, packed over there for Halloween, by the way.
Yeah, I guess
the hero was the guy giving shot choices of either Fireball or vodka to the parents. So clearly the shots were flying last night as well. And I'm not talking about gunfire. I'm talking about alcohol.
Might be time to start trick-or-treating again.
Yeah.
In other news.
Might want to make
I think
it a
if the
party.
parents dress up, that's when they get the alcohol.
Is that what it is?
Sure.
I don't know.
I don't know. You might. I hope there's no alcoholics in the neighborhood because you just put on about 12 different costumes, and in an hour you're feeling pretty good.
And I have another one.
If you really want it,
I'm Darth Vader.
Get it at home at that
Hey,
point.
it's me, Snoopy.
I'm Bart Simpson. Give me some vodka. Listen, this is off the beaten path, but we couldn't do a 3-hour sports show, I don't think, without at least talking about this guy. The legendary Willie McCovey. Stretch passed away at the age of 80. Willie McCovey was right before my time, but as a kid, as a baseball fan, I do remember him, obviously, in his later years. Willie McCovey was a great player. When Willie McCovey retired, he had the most home runs, I think, by a left-handed hitter ever.
He got to 500, right?
Until Barry Bonds broke his record.
I'm pretty sure McCovey was when we were kids, one of only 7 or 8 players to get to 500
listen,
home runs.
You had in your lineup for 13 years in a row in San Francisco, McCovey and Mays, back to back.
Yeah,
three,
both
4
Hall of
hitters.
Famers.
Yeah, I mean, and then he's also the subject of one of the great Peanuts cartoons ever, when the Giants lost to, and I'm not going to get the exact parameter of the story right, but when the Giants lost to the Yankees, the final out, the Giants were threatening in the last inning, and the final out was a rip by McCovey, came to the plate, hit a rocket that Bobby Richardson of the Yankees went up and snared, and it was the comic was Linus and Charlie Brown sitting on a park bench, not talking, shot of them not talking, and then either Charlie or Linus said, why couldn't McCovey have hit that ball 6 inches higher?
That sounds like Charles Schultz was a Giants fan.
Must have been. So anyway, but yeah, Willie McCovey was a great player, an MVP, tremendous career. So anyway.
Well, I remember Willie McCovey as again. It was his later years. We didn't catch him in his prime,
Right.
but I remember Willie was just a big man.
Big man.
As a kid, if you're a 5, 6, 8-year-old kid just learning baseball.
I mean, it's McCovey's Cove out there in San Francisco.
Yeah, but there you go.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's how.
right.
I mean, he was. Listen, if Willie Mays wasn't on the team, Willie McCovey would have been even a bigger boy. He was a 1969, I think, NL MVP, if I'm not mistaken. Had a 45 and 126 that particular year. Retired with 521 home runs. So Willie McCovey will be missing. I think, did he just play for the Giants his whole? I guess he had a little stop in Oakland and San Diego
at the
for
very end.
A few games and ended up back with the Giants. Played till he was 42 years old. So anyway, Willie McCovey passing away at the age of 80.
Dan, I don't know where it happened, but I want to get people ahead of the curve when college basketball season tips off next Tuesday. But I don't know when the SEC became the ACC. I'm going through the websites here, and I'm finding 3 SEC teams falling in Final Four predictions. Kentucky, Tennessee, and Auburn all in there. And this Tuesday night, Kentucky plays Duke and Kansas plays Michigan State.
Yes.
I mean, it is such an there's such great matchups that you just lose sight of because of the time of year they play. We've talked about this before. But, my question for you is, are there going to be 3 or 4 teams better than Florida in the SEC this year? Because if there are, that's a tough league.
Jeff, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been of the ilk that Mike White's doing a great job recruiting. I think 2 of his really good recruits are true freshmen this year. The Nembhard kid is being counted on. He's already been thrust into the starting lineup ahead of Okuru. So he's going to have – he's the Canadian kid, right?
Played down at IMG.
Yeah, so we'll see how he does. They have some talent on that team, and they have some veterans on that team. It'll be a fun ride. It'll be interesting to watch. They got a great test right off the bat with Florida State. They haven't beaten Florida State, I think, in 6 years.
That's Tuesday also.
Yeah.
So what a day. What a super Tuesday. It'll start here in the morning with
the voting.
You rocking the vote.
We got to rock the vote on Tuesday.
It'll go all the way through the evening.
This is big.
Great college basketball coming up this Tuesday.
I would like to know how much money has been spent on those political ads. My gosh, they're every commercial.
Yeah, just hundreds
4 years.
Hundreds of millions.
Florida hasn't beat Florida State in 4 years.
4 years?
Yeah.
4 straight for FSU?
That's correct.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we get it right.
Thank you. So I'll be curious. I'm curious to see. I think you're more confident about this particular group than I am.
Yeah.
I think they'll be okay, and like I would be happy if they made the tournament this year for me.
Then you'll be happy.
And then I want them to start to take that next step and start being like a.
Well, they're getting a 5-star.
I hate to say being a given as a tournament team, but a tournament team that can make some noise.
Yeah, I think I think they'll be that team this year. I'm not predicting they're a Final Four team. I'm not saying they're a great team.
Right.
But to me, they're better than last year's team.
Yeah.
Now it's a tournament team.
Jeff, with the Jaguars having the week off, they're a chance to reboot and take a look at the National Football League. I'll just throw you one game that sticks to me, and that's Rams Saints. Who you got?
Oof, that's a good question. I know who I have. I have the Rams.
Do you?
I do.
I have the Saints.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I think the Saints get them at home.
Yeah,
big game. I don't think
Saints aren't a great home team, so to me that doesn't make as big an impact. I got to see somebody beat the Rams, but this is how it happens, right? Dominant team, motors along, throttling everyone they play, and then there's a game that's kind of close, and then there's a really close game, and then it's kind of like the Chiefs, right? They were motoring along, whacking everybody. New England beat them, and lo and behold, they turn around, and Denver gives them a game. So, I do think there's a do theory in football. It's hard in the NFL just to rattle off win after win after win after win after win. And obviously the Rams haven't lost yet, but I'm going to ride that Ram train until it comes off the tracks at least.
Who you got?
The Rams.
All right.
Yeah, I got the Rams.
I got one more question.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask question 5. I'm taking charge.
Good,
so
I like
first
that.
today.
Yeah, it's good.
Jeff, the Florida Gators are 6-2 as a football squad. I'm not asking you to.
Florida Gators are national
not this
champions.
year. I'm not asking you to predict their record. I'm asking you to tell me, of the 4 games left on the schedule, which game concerns you the most? Missouri, Carolina, Idaho, no Idaho, or Florida State?
Well, gosh, I don't want to be bulletin board material for all the FSU fans in town, but quite honestly, because of where it's falling and the way they failed to cover the forward pass in the second half Saturday against the Dogs, it's Missouri. I mean, Missouri has
right away.
Missouri has hammered the Gators 2 of the last 3 years.
Ooh.
Missouri is a team that can certainly throw the football around. And more than that, I mean, look, the Gators are coming off some kind of stretch here, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they've beaten LSU at home. They had all those games, that were difficult on the road with Mississippi State, Tennessee, and Vandy, and LSU. And then you got the cocktail party here last week and the emotion that you expend for that game. So, I think the letdown is a real thing in sports.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're talking about those young guys and bouncing back from the loss to Georgia and keeping your focus, you're out of the SEC East race now. So, there are the intangibles that make this game tougher. I'm not saying I think Missouri is the best team left on the schedule, although they might be.
Yeah.
But I do think because of when the game is being played, that it's probably the toughest.
Missouri, people may forget, went into West Lafayette and beat the Boilermakers of Purdue earlier this year, but they have lost 4 of their last 5.
Kentucky did a really good job shutting them down. They just beat them 15-14 or whatever.
They did.
So
right after Missouri hung 65 on Memphis.
Yeah. So this game to me this week is tough, and in part because Missouri's had Florida's number.
All right.
That's the 10-minute drill.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent addition. Hit it. Let's take caller number 5.
Yeah, 5. Amazing.
5.
Coming up tomorrow again, caller number 6.
You want to go see
Stay
Gene
patient.
Simmons and the boys kiss one last time. Farewell tour at the arena. Rock me, Beef. Rock me at 641-1010 as he yells and screams and punches things in there.
What's wrong? What's going on?
Something's not working. It's not clicking.
It won't play. The music won't play.
It won't play.
That's
the hell.
Music makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Dan, just sing for us.
Yes.
No, what are you doing? This is the drill.
I was made for loving you, baby.